experiment 4, shunt excited motor. So I'm now going to connect channel 1 of the power supply to the motor in shunt configuration. So got the positive terminal, connect that to the top of the filament of the field coil. The negative terminal to the bottom of the field coil. Now connecting the top of the field coil to the motor, the armature, and bottom of the field coil to bottom of the armature. Okay, so that's now connected as a shunt excited motor. I've set the power supply in constant voltage mode. The CV LED is lit up. So this will supply a constant voltage, which is set by this dial, to the motor, and the units will then supply whatever current is necessary to maintain that voltage. So I'm now going to increase the voltage up to 12 volts, and at some point the motor will start to spin. So you need to keep your eye on the motor here and the RPM. That's 1 volt. Okay, so I'm going to go more slower now to see the motor start. Make sure you note which direction the motor spins in. Okay, so that's 3 volts now. Increasing to 6 volts. That's 6 volts. The armature, the current being supplied is 0.73 amps. I'm increasing now to 6 volts. Increasing now to 12 volts. 8. 10. 12 volts, and we're supplying 1.5 amps. Okay, so now I'm going to decrease the voltage. Goes back to 6 volts. Now I'm going to turn a bit more slower so you can see the motor stop. And then back to 0 volts. So what I'm going to do now is going to swap over the leads on the power supply terminals. So I'm going to swap them over. And I'm going to do the same as before. I'm going to increase the voltage now. This time pay attention to the direction of the motor. Which direction does it spin in? Okay, I'm going to go slower now. Okay, so that's 2 volts. I'm going to increase to 6 volts. Okay, 6 volts there. and 0.8 amps. Now increasing to 12 volts. And 12 volts. So that's 1.48 amps. Okay, now I'm going to decrease the voltage again. Okay, so 6 volts. I'm going to move slower now so you can see the motor stop. And 0 volts.